the heat of the day, jumping rope or at play, I hear a call. Running here, running there, something special in the air, I hear a call. The kites in the air, of flowers who bloom, history unfolds as the story is told at the story porch. At the story porch. At the story porch. At the story porch.
I guess you guys came for some candy. No. No? What'd you come for?
Storyteller!
You scared, Bunky?
I think they want to hear some stories instead.
Oh, well, tell you what. Did you hook me up, Bunky?
Yes, I've put a couple of Halloween stories in your book.
All right, let's go hear some stories. Have a seat, Bunky. I thank you, sir, and we will see you a little bit later.
I hope you all enjoy the stories. I'll be back in a little while to walk you all home.
See you later, Bunky.
Bunky, you be careful out there, all right? All right. Your heart's back to normal? You okay? Yeah. All right. No? You're still a little scared, huh? All right. Now, the name of this story is Which Witch is Which, written by Darla Davenport-Powell. Stop, Roger, or I'm going to tell Mommy on you, a voice cried down the hall. See, it was Roger's little sister, Vicky. He was trying to get her to open a fake can of peanuts, which he had replaced with slippery, slimy little earthworms. Get those things away from me, Roger, screamed Vicky. He'd almost tricked her again before the can fell on the floor, spilling dirty worms all over the carpet. It looked something like that blood trickling down your mouth, like red worms, just like that. I'm going to tell, look at what you did, his little sister said. Before she could turn around, Roger had scooped the worms out of the carpet and ran down the hall. He was laughing all the way, but not for long. He ran into his mom, who caught him by his arm and marched him back to his sister's room. Roger, his mom scolded, haven't I told you about teasing your sister? Your little tricks are not funny, young man. Roger hated when his mom called him young man. You knew what that meant. He knew that he was in big trouble then and dreaded what was to come next. Young man, you apologize to your sister and go get the vacuum and clean this mess up. Roger apologized to his sister Vicky and ran and got the vacuum cleaner. He thought to himself, oh, that wasn't so bad. What's the big deal? Ain't nothing but a thing. See, his mom had punished him a lot harder the last time he played one of his pranks. That time, it was on his older sister, Trish. He knew how much she hated mice and decided to put a rubber mouse in the shoe. She had just come out of the bathroom without her glasses, of course, and went to put on her bedroom shoes. Of course, we know the mouse was in the little slipper. But all of a sudden, she looked down to see what was sticking out from inside of her left shoe, and it was brown, and had a long, scurry, fuzzy tail, and long whiskers. It was a mouse! She screamed and screamed, running up and down in her underwear, all up and down the hallway. She jumped from the floor to her bed. Roger, I'm gonna get you for this, boy, I'm gonna get you. Trish was furious. She was hot. Roger had done it again. See, he thought he had gotten away until his mom found out about it and took away his outside privileges for 2 whole weeks. Ever happened to you? Yeah, see, 2 weeks. And Roger said, that's no fair. It was only a little old fake mouse. What would his mother have done if it had been a real one? Or maybe if he had put a lizard or something down Trish's back, or maybe a frog in Dad's coffee mug. Don't get any ideas. Or even a spider in one of their ice cubes, and then he could see why his mom would ground him, but not over a little fake rubber mouse. Wasn't such a big deal. What could he possibly do in the house for 2 weeks? Plenty. See, Halloween was coming, and Roger had time to plan one of his wildest pranks ever. Now, the prank would take place in his basement on Halloween night. All he needed were some eggshells, some cooked spaghetti, a big black pot, some cotton, and a witch costume. And his basement was the perfect place for a haunted house. It was dark and damp and eerie and scary feeling and looking and smelling. And it had that smell, especially when it rained, funky. Mold and mildew crusted on the walls. Kind of like when you wake up in the morning, your breath is kind of stinky. That's how it smelled like. It reminded Roger of the old dungeon he had seen at the movies, except this time, his would be real. Halloween was coming, and Roger had an idea. But little did he know that his sisters, oh, they had an idea too. And this is where the real story begins. Sounds like things are getting ready to get real interesting in Roger's house. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah? All right, tell you what, let's take a short break, and when we get back, we'll see what happens with Roger. We'll be right back. Stay away. Don't go away.
Call the doctor and the doctor said, let's get the weather. Hi, Bunky.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
History unfolds as the story is told at the story.
And now, back to our show.
At the story.
Welcome back. Now, just before the break, Roger was planning a big Halloween prank for his sisters, right? But I think they got a little surprise for him, too, so let's see what happens. All right, so it's Halloween night, and all the children on Muldrow Street were putting on their costumes, everybody except for Roger. See, he was busy separating the candy for the trick-or-treaters that would soon be knocking on his door. And his mom and pops, they were really surprised at how well he was taking his punishment. And he was being pretty cool about it. His mom felt badly, of course, about him missing out on Halloween, but knew it would teach Roger a lesson once and for all. And as he watched his sisters get dressed in their princess and genie outfits, his mind wandered to their basement. Maybe he's got some stuff going on in the basement, right? You guys be careful out there and watch out for those monsters. They can be real scary, laughed Roger as he said to his sisters. No, don't worry, we know who the real monster is, and he doesn't wear a costume, Trish replied. That's right, he puts worms and mice in our clothes, added Vicky. Oh, come on, it was just a joke. I didn't mean anything by it, smiled Roger, crossing his fingers behind his back. Soon the doorbell rang and Roger ran to his post. Trick or treat, yelled four little ghosts. Looks something like you guys. So there's five of you guys. What do you have for us? And then Roger pulled out a handful of lollipops and bubble gum and sent the fearsome foursome on their way. His sisters darted out the door just as he handed out the last piece of space gum. His mom yelled, Roger, how are we doing with the candy? Oh, we have plenty, Mom. Can you give me a hand? He asked. Roger's mom came from the kitchen with a bowl of treats. She had made some spiced cookies and pecan rolls for the family and needed Roger to go in the kitchen to check them out. Yeah, see, Roger knew this was his chance to dash to the basement. You got a little bit of Roger in you, don't you? Yeah.
I do scare my sisters.
You done that too? Okay, well, check out what Roger does. His sisters would be coming back soon, and he had to get things ready for them. This would teach them a lesson. So he ran to the basement closet, got out the crunched up eggshells and spread them over the stairs, right? He then took the cotton and made spider webs and attached them to the mildew walls. Then he lined the basement ceiling with the sticky spaghetti. Remember the spaghetti he needed? So he lined the ceiling with the spaghetti and placed the black pot in the center of the floor now for the witch costume, which was to come next. He powdered his face with flour, I think with the white powder you guys got on, and painted his eyebrows with a black marker, like all you guys. He blackened his lips, like you, and a few of his teeth with black food coloring. Any black teeth in the house? All right, he put some black stuff on his teeth. He could hear his mother calling from upstairs, Roger! Roger, where in the world are you, boy? Where you at, boy? Roger! Roger dared not answer. It would spoil the trick, so instead, he placed a long wig on his head and black robe around his body and waited. It wouldn't be long now before the bewitching hour. As he turned the lights out, he heard a noise. It was coming from upstairs. His sisters were back. Ah, it's on. It was time. Roger hid over in the corner and waited for them to come downstairs. What's taking so long? As Roger waited, he began to hear and feel strange things. It felt like something was crawling on his neck. But then he remembered, cotton cobwebs. Ain't nothing but a thing, just cotton cobwebs. Whew. Almost scared myself there for a second. Roger! Are you up to your old pranks again? Screamed his mother from upstairs. And then Roger heard footsteps coming towards the basement door. And they were getting louder and louder. As he walked to the black pot towards the center of the floor, Roger felt a hand on his shoulders. He knew he was the only one in the basement. Was his mind playing tricks on him? What do you think? Oh, yeah.
That's his sister.
Check it out. As the hand reached across his shoulder, he felt something run across his feet. It was his flashlight. He was too scared to yell. You know, he's a man. He was too ashamed to admit he was scared. No, never that. And all of a sudden he heard footsteps coming down the stairs, but they didn't sound like his sisters. They were loud and heavy. And as the sound got closer, Roger whispered, "Who's there?" No one replied. See, Roger knew it was time to call the trick off. This was not fun anymore. It was getting kind of scary. It was frightening. He soon began to feel what his sisters were feeling when he played tricks on them. It was not fun at all. Then Roger slowly walked to the corner to turn on the light and flicked on the switch. He had found it in the dark and would see all the things around him that were playing tricks on his mind once the switch came on. But as he flicked the switch, the light didn't come on. And he kept flicking it. No light. Oh, see, Roger was really scared now. Who turned off the light? Roger said. And he couldn't run. And he couldn't hide. And he was too much of a man to scream, couldn't scream. What was the brother gonna do? It was dark, it was damp, and besides now, he had heard voices whispering his name. Roger, Roger, do you hear us, Roger? And Roger turned around and slid towards the door. If he could just make it towards the steps, it would be all over. Who's there, he called. No one answered. Backing up against the wall, he could feel himself getting closer to the basement door. In 1 minute, he would be there. But just as he got to the basement steps, he felt someone next to him. Someone was on his right side, and someone was on his left side. He couldn't hold it any longer. Roger screamed, "Mommy!" He was screaming for his mommy. "Mommy! Help me, I'm down here in the basement." Roger cried, "and I'm scared." As he turned his head, Roger jumped. On his left was a witch with a flashlight, was looking straight at him. Was it a mirror? He turned to the left and saw the same thing. He never saw mirrors in the basement before, knew there weren't any mirrors in the basement. In fact, wait a minute. Oh, no. Now he's really scared. See, his mind was playing those awful tricks again. He did not like it, not one bit. The voice from the left whispered, "Roger the witch? Can you tell us which witch is which?" Roger he had had enough. He knew he was in trouble. His mind was not playing tricks on him. His trick had backfired and he was scared. He started to cry. The boy cried. Fellas, the boy cried. Tears coming down his face. The boy was crying. "I don't know who you are, but please don't hurt me, don't hurt me, don't hurt me." "We won't hurt you if you promise us one thing," said the voice on the left. "What is it? I promise. Promise us that you'll never play mean tricks on us again and we'll let you go," said the voice on the right. "I promise, And Roger paused. "Hold up, who are you?" he asked. Just then the lights came on. "Trick or treat!" yelled who? That's right, as they took off the witch costumes. "Please, no more tricks," Roger sighed. He had quite his share in one night. "What's with all that noise down there?" his mom asked while standing at the top of the basement stairs. "Roger, I've been calling you for an hour. Have you been up to your old tricks again?" Roger looked at his sisters, Trish and Vicky. They both had big smiles on their faces. How could they tell him that their mother knew about the prank they had planned? How could they do such a thing? Everybody knew except Roger. The trick was on him this time, and he finally learned his lesson. "Mommy, no more tricks," Roger promised. "What I could use right about now are some treats, some good candy treats. But please, no witch cookies." The end. So you see, Roger finally found out what it was like to be on the receiving end of one of those pranks. And he discovered it wasn't fun being tricked, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes, he did. All right. Tell you what, let's take a break. And when we return, we'll check out another Halloween story, okay?
Okay.
All right. Don't go away.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, Bunky, here comes Bunky. Bunky, where'd you get that Halloween costume?
Oh, I got this from Tyrone. He has several.
I tell you what, I think it's time you guys go with Bunky, and I will see you probably tomorrow night.
Before I go,
What?
can you give me my flashlight back?
I think I can do that.
Thanks.
Go for it. Do me a favor? Save me some candy, okay? All right, y'all go on about your business.
Bye, storyteller.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next time.